ahead and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Bernardo,
He.
you come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this much thanks 'tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Have you quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand ho, who's there?
Friends to this ground.
And liegemen to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Bernardo has my place. Give you good night.
Ale, Bernardo.
Say what? Is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What has this thing happened here tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy. It will not let belief take hold of him, judging this dreaded sight, twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears, so that are so fortified against our story. What we have 2 nights seen.
Well, sit we down, and let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made his course to illume that part of heaven, where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one.
Peace, break thee off! Look, where it comes again!
In the same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar, speak to him, Horatio!
Looks he not like the king? Mark it, Horatio.
Most like, it horrors me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Question it, Horatio!
Where art thou that usurp this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
It is offended!
See, it stalks away.
Stay! Speak! Speak! I charge thee, speak!
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is this not something more of a fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not this believe, without that sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself, such was the very armor that he had on when he the ambitious Norway combated, so the frowned he once, when in angry parle he smote the sledded Pollux on the ice. 'Tis strange.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour, with martial stalk hath he gone by our watch.
In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Go now, sit down, and tell me, he that knows, why the same strict and most observant Lord so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast of brazen cannon and foreign mart for implements of war, why such impressive shipwrecks, whose sore task goes not to buy the Sunday from the week, what might be toward that this sweaty haste doth make the night joint laborer with the day. Who is it that can inform me?
That can I, at least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, thereto pricked on by a most emulate pride, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of our known world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, who by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit with his life all those his lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror, against the which a moiety competent was gagged by our king, which he had returned to this inheritance of Fortinbras, had he been vanquished, or as by the same covenant, a carriage of the article designed, his fell to Hamlet. Now, sir, young Fortinbras of an unimproved metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway, here and there, sharked up a list of lawless resolutes for food and diet to some enterprise that hath a stomach in it, which is no other, and it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us, by strong hand and terms of compulsatory, those foresaid lands, so by his father lost, and this I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, the source of this is our watch and the chief head of this post-haste enrobage in this land.
I think it be no other than, but even so, well, it may it sort that this portentous figure come armed through our watch, so like the king that was and is the question of these wars.
A mote is to trouble and the mind's eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell, the graves stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with strains of fire and dews of blood, disasters in the sun, and the moist star upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands, was sick almost to doomsday with eclipse, and even the like procures of fierce events as Havelingers, preceding still the fates, and the prologue to the omen coming on, have heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climatures and countrymen. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again! I'll cross it, though it blast me, stay, Elysian. If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to the country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak. Or if thou hast apported in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which they say, you spirits oft walk in death. Speak of it. Stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus.
Shall I strike it with my partisan?
Do, if it will not stand.
'Tis here!
'Tis here.
'Tis gone! We do it wrong, being so majestical to offer it the show of violence, for it is, as the air, invulnerable, and our vein blows malicious mockery.
I was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started like a guilty thing. Upon the fearful summons, I have heard the cock, that is the trumpet to the morn, doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the good at his warning. Whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit hires to his confine, and of the truth herein, to this present object made probation.
It faded on the crowing of the cock. Some say that ever against the seasons come, wherein our Savior's birth is celebrated, the bird of dawning singeth all night long, and then, they say, no spirit dare stir abroad. The nights are wholesome, there no planet strikes, no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is the time.
So have I heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn, in russet mantle clad, walks over to the dew on yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet, for upon my life this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it, as needful in our loves, fitting our duty?
Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most conveniently. Exude. What were you laughing at?
I don't know, like, just everything that just happened hit me, and I could cut that out, too.
I could cut that out too.
Hey, it wasn't
Sarah,
recording.
I get tired of just creeping me out. I'm like,
It wasn't recording.
what?
I'm just kidding.
Oh my
That was a good one.
You did scare me.